Hey guys, and welcome back to a Accumulation Zone Scalper Pro Stochastic RSI strategy recap. If you don't have access to the Scalper Pro yet, it's your lucky day, because we currently have a Scalper Pro 10-day free trial. All you have to do is to go on to accumulationzone.com/free trial and then fill in your TradingView username, your Discord username, your email, and you can simply click on get your free trial now, and I will get to it within the next 24 hours to manually set up your free trial of the Scalper Pro indicator. But let's get started with this video. So today, as we can see here on forexfactory.com, we have a UK and Europe bank holiday, so most of the bigger FX currency pairs did not even trade during today's London kill zone, where we ideally like to take our trades. So therefore, I only traded the US-Indices today. I focus on only US30, but we were going to have a look at the SP500, US30 and the NAS100. So let's see how well they have performed today on a bank holiday. So heading into the London kill zone here on US30, we saw that price has already made a new lower low. If we look at market structure, we can clearly see that price formed a lower high, lower low, lower high, and another lower low. And start of the London kill zone, we pulled back towards the VWAP, forming a new lower high. So this is our thesis for this trade. We are forming a lower high, and we want to see a new lower low being formed. So ideally, our take profit target shouldn't be all the way down here, because look at the difference between all these lows. It's not going to be all the way down here. So with this in mind, we are going to look at this trade. So the price moved up towards the VWAP, and if we turn off the Scalper Pro candle colors, we can see this was a up close candle, a bullish candle close above the VWAP at the time of the stochastic RSI crossover. So what did I do? I waited patiently for the next candle to see if it is going to close below the VWAP. And as ordered, perfectly, we close below the VWAP. We have a white candle color, so we have a bearish candle color. We close below the VWAP, and we had our stochastic RSI crossover one candle ago. So all the entry criteria is lining up for us to enter into a short position. A Discord member this morning, or I think already two, have placed their stop loss right here at the swing high. I can see their point, but already with spread and it being a bank holiday, I didn't feel safe with the stop loss. And especially since it's below 5, I typically try to avoid trades with a stop loss that's below 5 pips on US30. It's just too small, and with spread, pretty much with every prop firm, it's gonna be an issue. So I also had a look at the ATR. Here are the settings for the ATR indicator, 144 and 1.25. And if we have a look at the ATR right here, I removed it again, we can see that the ATR would suggest a stop loss all the way up here. But I felt like this would be too big, because now I require price to drop all the way down to 33469 here on US30, which is a little bit too low for my liking. So what did I do? I placed my stop loss right here at this most recent lower high right here, to basically, once this market structure is being broken, I want to be out of the trade, to give it some more room for price to basically consolidate around the VWAP. Alright, let's have a look. Let's make this back to 2-to-1 risk to reward. Here is our 1 to 1.5 risk reward level, and at this point we move our stop loss to break even. So let's see how this trade played out. Initially we saw a nice bullish bearish continuation to the downside, but this whole momentum has already been bought up, and I didn't really believe that this trade is going to be a winning trade. But this was one of the most valuable lessons that we've learned last week on our Discord server, that no matter what you think, don't let those feelings or emotions impact your trade, basically, because as a beginner trader, I would have closed this trade because I thought this is not going to work out. But with a hard-coded system, basically, with fixed entry rules and fixed take profit and stop loss rules, you just have to submit to these rules and live by them. It might sound easy, but if you already assume that this trade is not going to work out, well, there you have it. And we got really close to it, but we've been rejected again. Nice bearish momentum candle. Let's see, let's continue with this trade. And then we had this nice drop to the downside. We almost hit our take profit. And with the next candle, we made a nice profit of 2% by risking 1% on this account. So if you would have placed your stop loss right around this high, you would have already been stopped out 10 minutes later as soon as this candle pretty much reached exactly this high. And especially with spread, you would have been taken out by this trade. So let's have a look how US30 continued. I'm pretty sure we got another short entry opportunity right around this level, where we held resistance basically right around the VWAP. And this is also going to be a great example. It being a bank holiday today, I pretty much said that I'm not going to take any more trades after this one. And it pretty much depended right here on the setup. So what I wanted to see is I wanted to see rejection at the VWAP, and I wanted to get my entry somewhere around this level. If I, for example, use the Fibonacci level and measure from here, this is our most recent lower high, lower low, lower high. I want to get my entry somewhere above this yellow line, which is the 50% level, ideally for a move to the downside. But I got my entry all the way already. That's the 33 fib retracement right here, this first blue line. And this is where I would have received my entry. We already formed a new lower low, so we already took that liquidity. Not really that it matters, but for today, on my live account, I decided to pass on this trade exactly because of these reasons. You could have placed your stop loss right here at the body close swing high. You could have went for a 1-bar stop. You could have went for a stop loss right at the VWAP. But with a entry so far down below on this bank holiday, I decided to pass on this trade and not take it. And it paid out, or it worked out really well, because price just continued to fill in this void right here and completely reverse further to the upside. Right here, outside of the London kill zone, we would have received another nice entry. So now the stochastic RSI is below the 50 level, and we received our crossover right here on this candle. So we would have entered right here. We could have went for a 1-bar stop right here at the VWAP, or a stop loss at the swing low. After we shifted market structure, we would have targeted a 2-to-1 to the upside. Let's see how this trade would have played out. We worked our way to the upside. We just hit our take profit target right here before we completely reversed, heading into our New York kill zone. Let's see if we have received an entry opportunity here yet. Yes, right here, currently at the low of the day. So, and especially after such a big drop, not an ideal entry, but yet still one we would take if we fully submit ourselves or our trading to the rules of the strategy. And it's working out really well. Yesterday I published a video regarding the backtesting results on pound JPY. And yeah, in the end of the day, we don't know which trades are going to be winning trades or the losing ones. We're basically flipping a coin with a 50% chance of it landing on head. Alright, so this was the price action on US30. Let's continue with the other US indices. So now we're looking at the NAS100 chart here provided by TradeRecap. And we saw that prior to the London kill zone right here at 3 AM. Okay, that's wrong. I have to change that. So we want to start it an hour earlier. Right here, we got our first entry opportunity short right here at 2:45. We placed our stop loss at the swing high, and we would have targeted a 2-to-1 risk to reward, which did not trigger, but we hit our 1 to 1.5 risk to reward, after which we move our stop loss to break even. So right here on this trade, we would have had a break even trade. Hang on, let me duplicate this. So we had one break even trade right here on NASDAQ, followed by a losing trade. A trade where I would have ideally placed my stop loss right here at the VWAP, 6 pip stop loss, targeting a 2 to 1. But it did not play out. We broke market structure and then shifted into bullish territory. The Scalper Pro candle coloring matched up perfectly with the market structure shift right here. So now we flipped to a bullish candle color. We broke out to the upside. We pulled back and we got our bullish stochastic RSI crossover right here on this candle. You either could have placed your stop loss right here at the swing low, at the body close low, or even at the VWAP for a 2 to 1 risk to reward being hit, ending up with a net profit of 1R or 1% if you risk 1% per trade right here on NASDAQ 100. Then pretty similar to what we saw on the US30, we continued further to the upside and then we completely broke down to the downside. And we would have actually received a nice short entry here. Let me change the settings here on the Session Pro. I did some back testing here. That's why now that must be 18 3-hour timing window. So we would have received our short entry right here on this candle during the New York session, which is looking far more promising. We could have went for a 1 bar stop, 23 pips. And I think we would have already hit our 1 to 1.5. So now our stop loss would be right here at our entry level at break even. And we would be waiting for price to hit either our entry level again or our 2 to 1 risk to reward here during this New York session. So now we're looking at the price action of the S&P 500 index, also on an 8-cap chart. Right here we also got our first entry at 240, very similar to what we saw on NASDAQ, but this time here on the S&P 500 we did not hit the 1 to 1.5 risk to reward, after which we move our stop loss to break even. So unfortunately this has been a losing trade, but actually I just saw it because I had my session timings wrong. I just noted that while recording this trade recap, my session when I did the backtesting on S&P 500 and NASDAQ was a little bit off because I only focus on US30. That's the only asset where I really focus on. That's the only chart I'm looking at throughout this 3-hour period. Fully focused, just waiting for my entry criteria to be right and then try to enter into this trade with perfect execution. That's my job. That's what I do for a living. I don't want to be distracted by 5 or 6 different charts moving up and down. I want to focus on that one. And once the opportunity is there, I take it. And I try to capture that opportunity, that trade, without making errors. And it's hard because in the end of the day, we're all going to make mistakes here and there. But my job is basically to eliminate them. And I can give it my best by simply focusing on one pair. Alright, so here on the S&P 500, we wouldn't have taken this trade because we are currently still in a short position, which would have been stopped out right here on this candle. So we lost 1% or 1R right here, depending on what we risk. You could be risking 0.5 or 1%. That's pretty much up to your liking or your risk management style. And then again, we shifted market structure. The Scalper Pro candle color changed its candle color perfectly after the market structure shift. We broke out to the upside, we pulled back to the VWAP, and we bounced off with a beautiful bullish crossover right after the bounce for another 2 to 1 risk to reward trade, ending up also with a 1R profit on the S&P 500. So overall, we can say that on S&P 500, we would have made 1% profit. On US30, we would have made 1% profit. And on the NASDAQ 100 index, we would have also made 1% profit by risking 1% per trade. So overall, we made a profit of 3% during this London kill zone during a UK and Europe bank holiday. Alright guys, I hope this little trade recap for our first trading session this week, even though it was a bank holiday, we still saw some great results, was helpful. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to join us on Discord and I will answer all your questions right there. So I hope you have learned something from this little trade recap where I'm going over my thoughts and the entries and where I would place my stop loss and what would make the most sense. But of course, it's more important for you to get your own feelings. So make sure to get your Scalper Pro free trial while you can. Do some testing, do some demo trading, and start to get a feeling for it. You can also just basically talk with the whole community and myself right here in the Scalper strategy section on our Discord, right here in the strategy chat. I documented every entry opportunity. I also laid out that I'm not going to take a trade if this is already forming a new lower low. So yeah, make sure to join us on Discord to not miss out on anything, especially during the London kill zones. That's when we all are the most active. Alright guys, take care and I will see you in tomorrow's trade recap or on our Discord server.